Alright, so got another motor here, another project. This one here is another one from eBay. This is a brass tag Briggs Stratton Model N. These are extremely rare. And this one here is all brass tags, as far as I know, had an oil pump. That's why it has. If you ever see a Model N that's got this filler that comes up at an angle with the square cap, it's usually got an oil pump. And yeah, this is a pretty nice motor. Cast iron oil pan, cast iron head. It did get damaged a bit in shipping. This air cleaner wasn't bent up, and it knocked a dent in the shroud. So that's kind of irritating, but that dent there's not a big deal. There's no dents in the corners, which is what I worry about. It's kind of loose. Now this thing, I actually checked it this morning. It actually has spark, so I don't have to worry about that. But it does have an oil pump, so I really want to pull this pan off and be sure that that oil pump still works. And I just cut it a new gasket. This thing will eventually get restored as soon as I'm done with that. So there's all I've been working on that. So this a brass tag has a cast iron manifold instead of an aluminum manifold. They have a cast iron head and a cast iron oil pan. I'm kind of an accumulator of Briggs Stratton Model N's. There's a mechanical governor Model N right there, and a rather rare NPR6 over there. There's another Model N up here that's the Sears version. It's an economy. So, and then there's a Model N block there, and there's another one down there. And there's one up in the barn too on a mower. So I've been really wanting a brass tag Model N for a while, so let's see if we can get this oil pan pulled off and see if this oil pump still works. Alright, so well, that bolt there was loose. I could unscrew that with my fingers. Check this one. The heck was that? Weird racket. Hold on. Alright, sometimes you can get these with a socket on this side. I just need to get it loose. I can't find my 9/16 wrench. Yeah, that one there was half loose. Turn this to where you can see. Pull this air cleaner off too and see how bad the damage is to it. They busted the seam right there. See, when I heard them when they dropped this off, this came USPS instead of FedEx like the last motor I got from eBay. And it sounded like they just threw this one on the porch. So there's a gasket in there, but looks like it's been leaking. So as far as I know, they made the brass tags for $39 only, $19.39 only. They did not make many of them before they went to the tag on the back. Let's see, sometimes you can just, but they're also on locate valves. Try not to rip this gasket. Yep, I ripped it. glued on there pretty good though. Sit that there right there like that. Looks pretty decent up in there. There's our oil pump. And I can tell you right now something's wrong because I think that screener has fell off. So let's see if I can get it out of there. So there's the oil pump screener. See if I can turn this camera. So this is the little oil pump, little gear pump they had. And they don't look too bad. It's never been off of there. But this screener goes on there like that. So yeah, it's a good thing I took this off. It's a clean little motor. I'm gonna flip it over so I can get a look at the bottom end. Oh yeah, this is a clean little motor. It needs a little bit of work, I'm sure. Yeah, because that wrist pin is kind of got some slop in it. Get you in here for a closer look. So as you can see, screener is supposed to be back there on this little tube, and it's not. And this is a Briggs gasket, I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna see if I can get that off there. And I broke it there, but at least maybe I can use it for pattern. Not really no rod slop. Might be able to reuse that rod if I'm lucky. This thing, can't tell. Yeah, it's been rebuilt at some point because it doesn't have the early style rod. The early style 89115 rods had a oil cup on them. This is a clean little motor other than that. Let me get you some light. Yep. A little bit of slop in the piston, it looks like. That ain't gonna hurt nothing. So, yep. I'm gonna work on see if I can figure out how this little screener goes back on here. Alright, so I figured out how it goes on. There's that spring. Here's the screener. And there's these 4 or 3 little legs that the screener sits on to keep it slightly above the bottom of the pan. And spring goes on here, and that sits down in there. And this was on there completely backwards. So yeah, I'm glad I took this apart because I don't think it'd hurt nothing. It'd have still picked up oil, but I'm gonna clean this screener out with some carburetor cleaner. Alright, I'm gonna put this back together, cleaned up the screen. Then I'm gonna put a little oil in this pan and check this. So first this spring goes on. And then the little pickup deal goes on. And the little spring just holds the pickup in place. Like that. Line the holes up. Set the bolts in. It's really neat how this thing has an oil pump. I've been looking for one with an oil pump too. Oil pump was an option later on, but the brass tags were standard pretty much. I think all of them had oil pumps. It even has a pressure relief right here, like an oil pump in a car or a tractor. Put a little oil in this pan and see if it works. That's plenty. Now I may have to submerge that, and I also don't know if the engine turns this away. Let's say this is the way it turns. Probably ought to put some more in there. Completely cover that screener. Try turning it the other way. And that's not good. The little booger may not work. I think there's some of these oil pumps on eBay, new old stock. I don't know why it wouldn't work though. I'm gonna fool with this some off camera. Alright, I just had to prime it. I had to put some oil down in the hole, but it works now. It's gonna spin a lot faster than that in the engine, so I think I'm gonna take that shroud up before I try to start this, but I think I'm gonna head in for the night. This engine here seems to be in relatively good shape. I'll see what the rings seem like and get it going. And might work on it before I go to work tomorrow, but I might not. So that's gonna be it for now. Alright, so I'm working on Model N some more. I just decided, since the old gasket did come out in one piece with one rip, I'm just gonna put it back on there for right now. It's not permanent, so this engine is gonna be getting a full restoration. I just want to see if I can get it running, so I'm just gonna stick that gasket on there with some of the Permatex on it, and it should be all right for now. Oh, I did want to show this. This engine has the dowel pins. They thought they were stuck in the block right there, but I guess that's how they're supposed to be. Most of them are in the oil pan, so I'll get you set up on the tripod, and we'll get this block sit back on this pan. See if I can get this set back on there on the first try. Bolts put back in. This bolt over here has a flathead slot in it, so I can run it down with that. Put a little penetrating oil down here in the cylinder, kind of. That might help bring the compression up a little bit, because it does have compression, but it's kind of low. Put a plug in it and see if that helped. Oh yeah, that helped a lot. Got pretty decent compression now. Not trying to start it, I'm just trying to. Also has this goofy homemade starter cup on it that's got to go. Most of the brass tags had a Kickstarter. So I guess that's gonna be it for now. I'm gonna wait on that shellac to sit up and seal up the oil pan before I put any more oil in it. So that'll be it for right now. Tried to start.
It did start.
Well, I mean, it tried to run for a minute there. Ain't making no rattling noise or nothing.
No. Sounds pretty tight.
Yeah. That actually sounds pretty good. It's a little loud.
But it didn't roll no.
See if it'll start back up. Carburetor's leaking. Alright, so I guess that's going to about do it for the Will It Run on the brass tag Model N. Now, as you can see, this motor's been painted military green at some point, but I can't tell that it's ever been painted black. So I took the tag off here earlier, and it's OD green under there too. So this thing's pretty much been painted OD green since it was new, or was painted that color at some point way back when. So I wonder at some point during World War II, if Briggs and Stratton still had these brass tags sitting around, if they sent some of them to the military in the 40s at some point, because these were made in 39. So I just wonder, because I was going to paint this engine black like those, but now I'm not so sure. So I'm going to ask my viewers what y'all think. Y'all think I ought to paint it black like regular old Briggs and Stratton engines, or should I go back with the military green? It even has, if you look real close, right there, there's a military classification number. So, right there, it focused. Right there. So, I guess that's going to be it for now, and leave a comment on what color you think I ought to paint this. Thanks for watching.